The murder of JonBenet Ramsey in 1996 drew international attention, and part of that intense media focus was on the Ramseys' Northern Michigan getaway in Charlevoix. That's where 9 and 10's David Leiden and videographer Josh Monroe pick up the story in part 2 of our Unsolved JonBenet special.
And we had that capacity where we were working with Boulder PD on what, and then we had that media piece trying to stem that tide.
The weeks following the murder of 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey in her Boulder, Colorado home led to a media frenzy, with press coming from around the world to cover the case. That frenzy eventually found its way to Charlevoix as the Ramseys continued to vacation here in the months following JonBenet's murder. Mary Beth Kerr and Dennis Halverson were both assisting the Boulder Police Department in the investigation that also found its way to Charlevoix.
Back then, you know, most of the 3 major networks were ABC, NBC, CBS. I was on all 3 of those news channels getting interviewed just about what I did. They wanted a morsel of anything. I came home one day in the National Enquirer, there was a reporter on my porch. They were in local restaurants, they were approaching people trying to pay for information or story.
Pay for information?
Oh yeah. That was the rumor I heard. They didn't offer to pay me anything, but I thought it was pretty obnoxious.
Halverson, who was police chief at the time, says his officers did what they could to give the Ramseys some privacy in the face of an international media firestorm.
They were very aggressive, came into town and kind of looked over the top of the police department, pretty much came in thinking, we're up north, we can pretty much, park and act and hide in bushes or wherever we want, and they were doing all those things. Some of them, again, very aggressive.
The media descended on Charlevoix again when John Mark Carr confessed to killing JonBenet.
I love JonBenet and died accidentally.
It was later determined he was lying.
And every time they issued a search warrant, or a few other times when significant rumors would come up nationally, it would spike that media reaction.
That media reaction spiked again late in 2024 as John Ramsey made another push to solve his daughter's murder. While technology exists that could help investigators, both Kerr and Halverson believe solving the murder of JonBenet remains a long shot.
I'm not optimistic. In any investigation, time is the enemy. And we're talking decades now. I'm not optimistic for a successful prosecution.
Any case can be solved. And with the technology that we have available that improves literally by the day with DNA, you see these cold cases all the time get solved. There are problems, though, with the way that scene was processed. I mean, I was a prosecutor for a long time, and now I've been a defense attorney for a long time, and they should have cordoned that house off, they should have made everybody leave, they should have done the search themselves, in my opinion.
Still, amid all the speculation, media attention, and theories, remains the unsolved murder of a 6-year-old girl.
6 months earlier, I was giving the victim an award for the way she had decorated her bike. I mean, I don't know if I've ever met an eventual homicide victim before, so that kind of struck me, more than once.
On Christmas Day, I mean, 6 years old, and then what the kind of condition her body was found in. It's just horrific. And as a parent, it was very scary and horrible and sad to see a child that was actually part of our community here be killed like that in our own house on Christmas Day. It was just horrific.